On the ancient timing mechanic, it's Zoroanthroism was the route that the Zetepi were trying to avoid. The Zoroanthro is the Ro and the Anthony problem that the fake order was pushing. I don't know what the deal with Anthony Miranda was with inviting me to a Borough of Queens Hispanic promotion with Frank, or what, but I went gladly to meet people and get to know the locals and other parts of Queens. And then there was what was there? And then there's the Zeptepi, which is supposed to be Io, me, Io, but it's Z-E on the, and then Tep, T-E, and then P-E. So it's the three strikes. And then, let's think about this. The NYPD, they have an internal auditing bureau. It's the IAB, it's the Rat Squad is the nickname for it. So, I mean, I know is the Pat Lynch is the PBA guy. So who's in charge of the NYPD and who's in charge of the Rat Squad on the Dirty Cop whatever while Michael was running games there? Then he got hurt and I don't know what happened, pensioned out, I suppose. Who knows? Usually that's the whatever. And then he worked private security for Trump as the nursery security. Did Trump not check the security, the National Security Bureau before he hired? I mean, he was rich enough, and they knew he was going to maybe be president one day. I mean, how long have we been like pushing the goddess down the worst possible gateway and route, and then hiding your own guilt? Because you know that when you take a charge up against me as flawless and flaw at the same time, you're, as humans, you're just guilty. There's no need to prove it. You did the action. You are now guilty. You need to be removed from the Fidelis because you are now a safety concern. Why was this so easy for the people elsewhere in Epsilon understanding of smart to get? I spoke to the one Greek friend that I have here, which is, I call her, she asked me to call her Vicky, which I do, but she, her name is, oh gosh, I want to say Valsaki, but it's something along those lines. But my name would be Valkyrie then, because that's the, or her name would be Valkyrie then, because it's the easiest spracha for me to be able to linguist. And for that pairing of theta and epsilon, because those are the only two Greek letters that I really know offhand without studying or looking at ideograms, which is IDIOGRAMS, when you Coptically look at something and study the photo of it, the picture, the photons and light spectrum. So she was telling me, I was asking her about the patron saint of Saint Nicholas. I said, could you tell me about the Greek interpretation of Saint Nicholas, like that you knew since you went to Greek school? And she said, well, they didn't really talk much of him other than, it's of the night of, and then she says, and then there's Saint Basili, but in Greece it's, and I said, isn't that the red square in like Moscow? That's the name of the cathedral, isn't it? Like the church that's there in Russia? And she's like, I don't know. And she's like, well, it's Vasil. And I'm like, oh no, that's Basil. That's with a B. And so I mentioned that today in the Marie Curie Park after school, after public school, the two Anthonys went to. I'm just trying to think of anything else. Because I don't understand the fraternal order of police is like what do they look? Who hired them? What did they? Who's doing the hiring process? I mean, can I just have Nicholas? Because that's all I really care about. Nicholas and Alexander and my other children and the rest, whatever. I mean, I don't know what takes so long to get one woman and one man right. That's all I ever wanted when I was little, telling you. And it's never going to change because everything else is just a big waste of time, which you humans do not own or have any to waste. Because we own the ancient clock and whatever.